I definitely gotta say that I enjoyed this week's episode of Naruto a lot more than last week's episode. While this episode still had filler in it, I felt as though for the most part the filler that it did have advanced a couple different things and just kind of showcased what was going on around the battlefield so that we didn't just stay stuck in one particular position like last week's episode where it was just mainly like, you know, the long filler with Utakata and then it kind of just showed a little bit of Naruto versus Tobi. This week's episode, it really gave you the fight. It gave you Naruto and B versus some of the Jinchuriki, and it also showcased a couple things of what's going on around. Some of it was unnecessary, like I didn't really care to see, I believe that was the Tsuchikage's granddaughter. That really wasn't necessary, but I did like seeing some other parts around there, seeing Neji and Hinata and them fighting and whatnot. It just gives you a nice showcase of, okay, people are still struggling on the war while this battle is going on. Animation was decent, but it definitely faltered at times, especially towards the end when Tobi was like kind of moving around. It kind of just seemed a little bit stiff at times, and when Guy jumped backwards, it kind of looked a little bit stiff, so it wasn't the greatest animation, but it definitely was decent and, you know, kind of subpar average, but it was still enjoyable nonetheless, and a lot of times it did have a nice little color and texture to it, so that was pretty decent. Some of my favorite parts of the episode, though, I gotta say, first of all, B is crazy. In the middle of a battle, he's looking at Yugito's chest, and he's just like, oh, just a little bit is good enough. Goddamn, B, you really love them melons, don't you? The ending of the episode definitely was one of my favorite parts as well, when Kakashi and Guy show up, and it was just like, yo, shit's really about to go down now. Now they're not that much outnumbered compared to before, 2 against, what, like 7 or 8? Now they're actually, you know, pretty evened out a bit more, and Kakashi and Guy are there, but it really makes you think, can they really do much against a lot of these people, because these are Jinchuriki with Rinnegan and Sharingan, and Tobi there as well, so it's like, yeah, they have a couple more people, but at the end of the day, what Tobi said is kind of right. It's like, just because you added 2 more people doesn't mean that it's gonna make things that much better, because at the end of the day, Guy, Sensei, and Kakashi aren't the most strongest people either. Yeah, they're strong, don't get me wrong, but to come up against some of these people, when Kakashi was just a few weeks back, I'd imagine this is like a few weeks between when he fought against Kakuzu, maybe a month, he was kind of struggling against him, and Kakuzu, I don't believe, is anywhere near as strong as some of these people with the Rinnegan and Sharingan, but nonetheless, it was still an epic ending. The filler I didn't really care for was actually the one where we saw Kakashi and Guy going up against Mangetsu. While it did add closure, it also kind of messed with the time a little bit of like them showing up, because in the manga, I remember that was like a big surprise. Oh shit, they finally finished their battle, now they arrived, and in this one, it's like, we saw them earlier in the episode, and it's like, oh shit, so they must have finished Mangetsu all really quick, and then jumped to the battlefield. A part that wasn't supposed to be funny, but still gave me a little laugh, was when B thought that he sealed up all the Jinchuriki, but then they broke free, and then you see Tobi coming up from the ground. Hello, Governor! That shit was pretty funny. And overall, the battles was actually pretty enjoyable. I like that they actually had a little bit of blood in there as well. When B, in his 8-tails form, was pierced through by one of the tail beasts. It was like, okay, we got a little bit of blood. It's making things look a little bit more dangerous, a little bit more legit. And for the battle aspects of this episode, it definitely did what it needed to do. It showcased that Naruto and B are struggling, and it's not an easy fight to overcome. The advancements that we did get in this episode was, one, we learned that they have the rods right in their chest, more or less, so it gave us, okay, this is where we gotta pretty much go and try to take the rods from. Also, it showcased that even trying to seal them, they need a much stronger sealing technique than what B had, because they broke out of it with ease. And of course, again, at the end of the episode, Guy and Kakashi showed up, so it also advanced that we got reinforcements to help us out in this battle. Overall, it was a good episode. It had its problems here or there with the animation and a couple of little filler scenes, but it was definitely a good episode. I give it 7.5 out of 10. Definitely enjoyed it and felt it was a lot more structured, better than the previous episode with the Utakata filler, because while we did have filler, it was in minimal places, and I felt as though it gave us a better view of what's going on around still, so we don't stay stuck in one particular place for too long. And the stuff with Roshi's past, I mean, I believe that was in the anime before. I don't remember if it was in the manga or not, but I believe that was showcased before, so that was not really filler. That was just like a flashback, but I guess it was a flashback filler, because I don't remember that being actually in the manga when this battle was going on. So it happened, but it didn't happen, like, we didn't get to see that flashback in the actual battle, so it was like, whatever, I didn't really mind that at all, because the Utakata filler was actually like, it never really happened. There was a filler that happened in the anime, but that never happened in the manga. We never got to see Naruto and Utakata meet. Again, overall, good episode, but what do you guys think, first of all, Kakashi and Guy? Do you think they're going to be a big help against the Jinchuriki when they go up against them? Because it's like, I don't know how much of a help they're going to be. I mean, at the end of the day, they are strong, so they, at the very least, they can outwit them. That's all I have for this review. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Thumbs up if you can't wait to see more action, because next week's episode looks like it's going to be even less on the filler, so that's definitely good. And I'm just hoping to see more epic battles, because right now that's what these episodes are mainly going to be about, and I always enjoy a good battle. For ForneverWorld, and as always, people, have an awesome day.